For those of you who may have missed it earlier today, Governor Ron DeSantis opened up a lion-sized can of whoop-ass not only on the federal government, but on basically a rat's nest of liberals that we have uncovered down in Brevard County, Florida. They believe because they're friends with Joe Biden that they're above Florida state law. They're going to learn the hard way, just like Alachua already has, that is not the case. The rights of the parents of the children of Florida will be protected at all cost, full stop. Now, for those of you who are unaware of where Brevard County, Florida is, the name looks a lot like Broward, which is down in West Palm, Miami area. Brevard is just north of there. It starts just south of Daytona Beach. It's a very skinny county. It only goes inland so far and runs all the way down to about Palm Bay. So it's a real long, skinny triangle right here on the coast, just basically eastward inland from Orlando. This is one of my favorite angles to look at the state because you can see how close Florida is to Nassau in the Bahamas. And for those of you who are watching Black Sails the series or have played Assassin's Creed Black Flag like we do every night at Twitch, you can see why their values and our values would line up when it comes to freedom and liberty and independence. We're going to watch a small clip from the live session that we did earlier today where Sheriff Wayne Ivey basically says on no uncertain terms that the federal government and their agents will have no place in the state of Florida. They will have no authority, and they will not be cooperated with if they are colluding with Merrick Garland and his order. Now, for those of you who are wondering who those school board members, are. District 1, Misty Belford. District 2, Cheryl McDougall. District 3, Jennifer Jenkins. Pay attention to her. District 4, Matt Susan. District 5, Katie Campbell. I believe that's how you pronounce Katye in this case. I'm not exactly sure. But these are the people who believe they are above Florida state law. They believe their opinion overrides the opinion of the elected representatives in the Florida House and the Florida Senate that passed the Parents' Bill of Rights, which states unequivocally that the final arbiter for children and their medical treatment and medical well-being, the final arbiter is the parent, full stop. The parents down there and all across Florida who've run into this ain't having it. Now, just to be clear, if anybody crosses the line and does anything illegal, which I don't think's been done yet, that will be handled by the Florida authorities. Once again, the federal government has no jurisdiction here, and they will be treated as trespassers. And if you don't think I'm kidding, we're going to go to a clip here in just a minute where Sheriff Wayne Ivey basically echoes this sentiment. Now, the man on your screen also spoke at this event earlier. And what I'm about to tell you is probably going to anger a lot of you. This man is a doctor. His child has Down syndrome. And part of the symptoms of the particular case of this child, is that this child has a swollen tongue. And because of the problem with the wearing of the mask, the school, without notifying them, basically roped a mask onto the face of this child every day and then took it off before the child went home so the parents couldn't see. They didn't even tell the parents they were doing it. And one day they slipped up and forgot to take the rope off, and he found out about it. The man is a doctor. This man is an MD, and he was volcanic. And I don't know the man personally, but doctors in this area of Florida, they're worth a couple of bucks. They've got a few nickels to rub together. So when he says he's going to sue this school board, he means it, and he's going to win. I know it shouldn't always be about money. It should be about justice, no matter how much you do or don't have. But the world we live in, the reality is, the lawyers that this guy is going to bring to bear, I wouldn't want to be on the other end of it. It was horrible. Everybody on the stage was just shocked when this man told his story, including the governor. Wayne Ivey is who we're going to listen to here, from Brevard. Recently, there was a deputy-involved shooting where a guy got out of a car and basically opened up with what looks like either a MAC-10 or an Uzi, and the sheriffs were able to retreat and get to cover, and when they finally dropped the guy, they filled him full of a bunch of holes, and there's video of it out there. I'm not going to cover it here, but they asked the sheriff directly, why did the officer keep shooting? And without missing a beat, the quote on your screen, because evil can never be dead enough. This guy is no joke. And it goes beyond just the sheriffs, just the deputies. The chief law enforcement officer in our state, Ashley Moody, has come out and stated on Twitter multiple times, unequivocally, she will not be cooperating with anybody from Washington, D.C. going after parents at school board meetings. Once again, full stop. So when you don't have the governor to help you, you don't have the chief law enforcement officer in the state, you don't have virtually any of the sheriffs or the deputies, who are you going to call, liberals? Who are you going to call? What do you think's going on in D.C. right now? Everybody you see on the screen here, we covered this in another video. These are all representatives of the state of Florida. And by the way, and I think this is important to reiterate, not only is the governor of the state of Florida a former judge advocate general officer in the Navy, Captain Greg Stubbe is a former United States Army judge advocate general officer, basically meaning two military lawyers in incredibly powerful positions in Florida representing us. So when we say we're going to do something, it's very likely it's going to get done. Now, without any further delay, let's listen to Sheriff Wayne Ivey, and you tell me what you think is going to happen if any federal agents come to Florida.
Okay, we have Sheriff Wayne Ivey.
Thank you, Governor. All of us up here are appreciative of Governor DeSantis taking a position on this and standing strong. I think I speak for everybody up here, and I know I speak for the majority of the sheriffs in this great state. We also thank Governor DeSantis for being a leader among other governors, for standing up for our freedom, standing up for our constitutional rights. As he said, Floridians are not going to have their constitutional freedoms trampled on. What we're seeing happen on many levels, when you think of DOJ that is assigning the FBI to target parents as domestic terrorists, it's outrageous. Trust me, there are plenty of terrorists globally that they can focus on. Real terrorists, terrorists that are out there killing people each and every day. Not parents who are voicing their opinions and fighting with every breath they have for their children, which everybody in this room would do in a heartbeat. Our parents are people that are upset, they're emotional. They have the biggest concern of all, and that is raising the next generation of leaders. And so, to those parents that are out there, I want you to know that for me, all the sheriffs that are standing here, and I think I speak for all of us across this great state, we are your first line of defense. We're the last line of defense for you as well. We don't need DOJ to come down here and investigate a school board meeting that gets a little bit of rowdy. Our teams handle that each and every day. We deal with it. In Brevard County, we serve as a model. This community serves as a model for other communities across the country to follow in how we deal with crisis, how we deal with emotion. But what we don't need is somebody coming in here starting to investigate our parents for voicing their opinions. To the mask mandate here in Brevard County, the illegal mask mandate that violates the governor's executive order. Let me just be very clear. I have made it clear to my school resource deputies, our head of security at the schools, that we are not the mask police. If your child is not wearing a mask, we are not going to engage in any action. We will not. My deputies do not have to wear masks on the school campuses. If they choose to, that is their freedom to do so. But parents, I want you to know, we stand strong in that this mask mandate is a violation of the governor's order, and we will not help enforce it in any way. So coach your children appropriately with that. And I've made the school board aware of that as well. The last thing I will say is this. Be careful who you put in these seats. Our children's education is one of the most important components we will ever have an opportunity to lead in. Be careful who you're putting in those seats. Put someone in those seats that's going to stand up for the United States Constitution like our governor does each and every day. I truly ask you to make sure you're looking at who you're voting for. Governor, thank you, sir.
That's a sheriff in Florida. We don't care a whit about the DOJ, Merrick Garland, Joe Biden, or any of them. They come down here, they're going to have a problem. Their mouths are writing checks their ass can't cash. And they know it. Now, this guy has made a name for himself. He had a game called Wheel of Fugitive that he would do on YouTube some years ago, where he'd spin the wheel and he'd ask people to find that person, and it worked like a charm. It was really fantastic. He also did this 8-minute thing where he talked to, and he caught some flack for this, when people would find themselves, or if they would find themselves in some type of an active shooter, he basically had the 4 A's, which would be awareness, avoidance, arm yourself, and then attack. Yeah, that's right. That was the last part. He counseled people in the state of Florida. Arm yourself, and if you find yourself in this type of a situation, you go after, and he referred to the person as a terrorist, and you take him out. I'm sure this might be somebody that you might not have heard of. The Brevard County Sheriff's Office has "In God We Trust" on the back of their squad cars. This is Brevard County right here. This is where we've uncovered this rat's nest. I'm up here in Flagler. This is Duval. I think I've got this right. Duval, St. John's. This is Volusia, if I'm not mistaken, where Daytona is. This is Clay. Well, I'm just going to Clay, Putnam, I think, right here. Clay, St. John's, Duval, Putnam, Flagler, Volusia, Brevard County right here. So, anyway, this is where we're at. We aren't having it in Florida. And if it's happening in your state, it's not just the federal government. It's the federal government with collusion of the people in your state. Because when you stand up and you rip back that curtain and you show the little man with the levers and the buttons and the switches, they don't like that. And right now, Florida is exposing the soft underbelly of Washington, D.C., and they don't like it, and they can't do a damn thing about it. Because Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution guarantees us a Republican form of government, which means of the states. And the 10th Amendment says whatever is specifically not enumerated to the federal government, that power falls to the states. Those two things alone, slam dunk. Goodbye mask mandates, goodbye vax mandates, goodbye all of it. It just takes people standing up, saying enough is enough, and fighting. And like the sheriff said, make sure you're paying attention to not who the president of the United States is. Not, who the Speaker of the House is. Be careful who you put in school board seats. Because that matters. That matters. And believe me, I did an hour and a half earlier today of a live, and this was just one individual after another, basically standing up and saying, we ain't having it. This school board is out of line, and we're going to bring the full weight of the Florida Republic government against them. And if they step out of line, or any Fed comes down here, it's going to be over. We will detain them indefinitely and send them back where they came from. Think we're kidding? Try us. God bless, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.